Welcome to our interview with the Sportsbook guy, aka Watch Like Heck. We are blessed to be with a man that needs no introduction, the Sportsbook guy himself, and Rutgers' finest alumnus. So, here to give you a little Rutgers season preview, talk about some locks, help you out this college football season. What are we having some technical difficulties here? Or
Can you hear me? Am I
Yeah,
coming
we
through?
can hear you. You gotta back up from the camera a little bit.
Oh, all right. I don't do the smartphone too much, so bear with me a little bit.
Oh,
Usually my grandson helps me out, but he's out. You know how those kids.
No worries. How's the summer been going?
I'll tell you what. I'm happy that baseball season's almost over. All right, because I'm rooting for the Mets. There's not much to root for. Okay, Steve Cohen, you jerk off. If you're listening, you give me the money. I'll hire the players. Okay, because clearly whatever you're doing is not working too good.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah, the Mets have not been good. Honestly, I thought they were a dark season World Series team. Look at them now. They've shipped all the good pitchers off. They look like garbage. Talk about a bad ROI for Steve Cohen, your boy.
I mean, he's just blowing money. He looks like me on opening day for college football. I'm just blowing money left and right.
Terrible. But yeah, we're all grateful that baseball's ending. I mean, most of us are. I know there's some, niche bettors out there who still, love baseball. But for me, I feel you on that. I'm so excited for college football. It's finally approaching. And we know you're a big Rutgers guy. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Rutgers team total. The over-under set at 4.5. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's kind of fair, right? Because 4.5 wins, I still want to win money, right? They're not going to win much more than 5 games. Okay, so I still got to be able to bet the over. I'm probably going to take a trip up to New York City sometime this week, go see my friend Slimy Tony. He usually lets me take Rutgers action up there, so I'm going to take the over for sure.
When are we going to get you onto the digital, mobile betting platforms and off Slimy Tony? We got to get you into, the year 2023 one of these days.
There's a reason I still use them. Okay, what do they say? If it's if you're broken, you don't fix it or something like that. What is it again? Either way, okay, he always hooks me up. He gives me a kickback, okay, 10% kickback on my losses. You can't beat that. You don't see the draft duels or whatever giving me 10% on my losses, okay? They just take it all because they're a bunch of greedy bastards.
Right. But we want to see your bets on Sharps app. The better back to only the legal sports books. So not Slimy Tony, unfortunately. Maybe we can make one exception, but for now, the only way we can see your post on the Sharps app is if you link a DraftKings, FanDuel, Barstool, one of the major sports books. So one day we're going to have your grandson help set you up with that, okay?
Yeah, he's the technologically advanced one in the family, so he's going to have to come help me figure it out.
And I'll sponsor your kickbacks for a little bit if we can get some posts on Sharps. I'll replace Slimy Tony in that regard. But yeah, and you could stay. You don't have to come close to the camera. Don't worry. You're good. All right, so you're going over on the Rutgers win total. I like that. If they don't, let's say Rutgers has a bad season, right? And it seems like you're a rational Rutgers fan, right? Is Schiano on the hot seat if they don't make a bowl game this year, or at least show some improvement?
I mean, he made a bowl game last year, right? Or was it 2 years ago? My memory's not that good no more, but they made it to a bowl game already under the second Schiano regime. I don't understand this whole hot seat thing, okay? How you gonna talk on this guy? I mean, he's a friggin' god, for Christ's sake, all right? It's James Gandolfini, Bruce Springsteen, and Greg Schiano.
But listen, I would say he's on the hot seat only because last time around, Schiano Part 1, at one point he had Rutgers 11-2. They won 11 games. And they won 4 straight bowl games at one point. Rutgers was a powerhouse before he left for the NFL. So it doesn't seem like he's getting those same results. That's why I'm saying, maybe it's time for a change if it doesn't go well this year. But clearly you're still all in on.
It took some time to get wherever he was back in 2006. This was no overnight success. A lot of people only remember the good times. They weren't there for the bad.
Yeah, facts. Well,
I give the man time to work.
It's good to know Schiano still has some of the Rutgers corner. Next topic I want to move on to. I just want to get your thoughts. Rutgers, Big Ten team. For better or worse, some would say for worse. But the Big Ten's expanding. Rutgers was formerly in the more at the LA market corner with USC, UCLA. They brought in Washington, Oregon. What are your thoughts on Big Ten expansion? If you could add one team to the Big Ten, who would you want to bring in?
Yeah, that's a good question right there. Thinking about it, right? I really love that old Big East rivalry. I think I still want revenge for, what was that, 2006 triple overtime game against West Virginia, was it? Again, my memory's lost, but I want one of those Big East teams because I want revenge. I miss those old Big East days when it was ground and pound between the tackles offense, none of that spread stuff like they're bringing in from the Big 12. I can't stand that. No defense at all. What? I'd rather watch an Iowa 7-3 final score than whatever they're doing over in that cupcake league in Oregon.
Punting is winning. That's what people don't understand. And someone from, a Rutgers fan from the birthplace of college football can appreciate, that old school smash mouth football that the Big Ten's bringing. And, a lot of people in the SEC don't get it. It's real football. So, I totally agree with you on that. By the way, I checked. It was the 2021 Tax Slayer Bowl, and they lost to Wake Forest by 28 points in 2021, the last bowl appearance for Rutgers.
And that was when they had 3 days to practice, right? Because they didn't know because the other team had to drop out because they were a bunch of losers.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. But yeah, it'd been 7 years. 2014 was the last time they made a bowl before that. So, hey, I mean, it's definitely an interesting program to root for. I'm a Lions fan. I get it. Sometimes your teams are just not that great. But then, just speaking of the Big Ten, is there any universe where Rutgers gets hot, has a team that overperforms this year and wins the Big Ten? They're plus 30,000 on DraftKings right now to win the Big Ten. $100 pays $30K. You could go to Florida. You could do your thing. A lot with $30K. So tell me what your thought is. That worth a sprinkle or is that just a donation?
It's worth the punt. I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you another thing: $30,000 for one bet. If I won $30,000 on the Slimy Tony, you always tell me go scratch your ass, okay? I'll take that all day. I do that on the Fan Kings that you're using on the phones, the apps. Right? Oh, yeah.
What kind of units we're talking with you? $100 pays $30K. So if you're, typically betting, 100 or 1,000, I don't know what kind of units we're working with you, but yeah, I mean, they'll take that bet on FanDuel, DraftKings, all the majors. They're offering that. So if you think it's worth a sprinkle, I may have to tail you and throw 100 Rutgers to win the Big Ten. It's just when it doesn't hit, I'm going to come calling.
It's definitely worth it. But I don't know if you know this, but they don't let me bet on Rutgers in New Jersey. They got some kind of thing going on where they don't want the students to be gambling. But gambling's good for you. You know why? Because you win money. Okay, there's not many other ways you could win money just by watching sports.
Right, and they call it an addiction, but I think one of the great comedians once said that it's the only addiction that can make you a lot of money at the same time. So I can't think of a who had the chance to actually make money. So yeah, but that's a terrible rule. New Jersey, yeah, they don't let you bet on college teams there. I remember because when St. Peter's, I don't know if you're familiar with the Peacocks, but they had a great run in the NCAA tournament. They beat Kentucky, and people in New Jersey wanted to bet St. Peter's, and they couldn't bet St. Peter's. I thought it was the most ever heard. Terrible, terrible law. There's a couple other states that have it. Illinois doesn't allow betting on their own college teams as well. I don't understand it.
And during that St. Peter's run, that was great. We love a good Cinderella story. I had to hop in my 03 Honda Accord, take it down the turnpike to Philly when they played UNC, just so I could bet on the Peacocks and watch it for myself with my own 2 eyes. And they ended up dropping the ball and losing anyway. So it was a waste of money altogether.
Terrible. But, at least you got creative and found a way to get that bet in regardless. That's determination right there. That's what we expect from a legend like yourself. All right. Before I let you go, week 1, Rutgers against Northwestern. Northwestern's embroiled in controversy right now. Tell me what's going to happen. Like Rutgers, they're 6.5-point favorites. I mean, look, if they can't win this one, it's not going to bode well for the rest of the year. What are your thoughts on week 1 at home in Piscataway against Northwestern.
I'll be there. I'll be watching in person. This decides the season right here. If they win, we're going to a bowl game. We're taking down Michigan finally after coming close all these years. If they lose, you won't be hearing from me for a very long time. I saw it open at 4.5 points. It's down to 6.5. I don't feel too good about that. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies. And I'm running out of cigarettes, too, so I got to go to the store.
Yeah, well, it seems like the whole world's back in Rutgers then, because Northwestern just seems like a toxic team to be putting your hard-earned money on right now. So, look, I think I might have to ride with them at least week 1. We'll see how it goes from there. But how are we going to get you on to Sharps app and outside of the paper slips and Slimy Tony? That happen? Put me in touch with your grandson so we could set that up.
Yeah. I gotta use the texting and send you his number. I gotta have him help me out with the texting thing too, because I can't. It'll work though. I enjoy this conversation. You're not like all the other younger kids where you don't really listen. All right, you're using your ears. That's a good thing. I'll give this Sharps a try.
We're going to have to do a combo play, a collaboration play, where I pick a couple games, you pick a couple games, we throw it in a parlay, and we ride these days. So we got to get you back on soon. And, just always great speaking with you. You're hilarious. Love your stuff. Everyone, make sure you go follow Watch Like Hack on every social platform. He's always dropping some hilarious videos. I'm a huge fan. Even outside the Sportsbook character, we're going to break character for a second. His other stuff is fire as well. So, Lek, why don't you yourself and everything else? Appreciate having you on and appreciate your support for Sharps and everything else, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
The shift is crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of think that's my normal voice, too, which is funny. But that was probably the longest I ever had to talk in that consecutively. I might be a little raspy. I'll go lube up the old vocal cords. So thank you though again.
You killed it. So yeah, where can they find you? You do on Instagram, TikTok, all that?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Watch Like Hack. That's right.
All right, awesome. Great. Definitely worth a follow, and hopefully we'll get some bets from Lek / the Sportsbook guy throughout the season, and we'll have to revisit with the Sportsbook guy at some point. And download Sharps app. Make sure you see fire your Sportsbook so you can see fire content from characters like the Sportsbook guy. You can fade him if you don't like Rutgers this year, or you can tail him and see how it goes with the Rutgers faithful. But anyway, thanks, Lek. Appreciate it.